Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling. We have a special episode today. It's called our Purple Cow episode. And I'm going to tell you all about it and our special guest that we have that's going to be with us today for this special cow episode. So let's get set. Go ahead and hit the share button. As you come in, let us know where you're coming in live from. So let's see. I'm going to get ready to share this. We're going to wait for our guest to get on here. Very excited about our first. Hi, Tiffany. Very excited about our first Purple Cow episode. Woo! It's going to be exciting. Tiffany, let us know where you coming in at. Where are you seeing us at? Where are you homeschooling? I guess we should say it that way. Where are you homeschooling at? Let us know. Be sure to hit the share button for all of you who are coming in. So excited about today's episode. If you've been with us all this week on all of our episodes, this week has been an interview blitz with Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling. So we have been inundated beautifully with such great insights, wisdom, nuggets. It's just been amazing. Amazing. And this one will be none less. All right, there you are. Yay. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling. This is Angela Jordan Perry, and I am turned up for today's interview. Woo! This is our first Purple Cow episode, and we are in for a treat. Let me just let you know, I am your host of Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschool. There is a Facebook page and a YouTube channel in which you can subscribe to. So whenever I go live or play some good content, you will get the notifications for it. So I'm a homeschooling mom of 18 years, 8 children, graduated 3, married 26 years. We are farmers in the northern part of South Carolina. So that's just a little bit about me. My purpose-driven life is to make an impact on thousands of homeschoolers worldwide. And so that includes you, your friends, and those you don't know yet. I want to make an impact on your lives positively. So again, today we are here with our special guest. This is called our Purple Cow episode. So let me explain this. If you ever have read the book Purple Cow, if you're not familiar with it, it's a very popular book in the network marketing stream and business arena. So it's called Purple Cow. So if you're driving and you see a hill of cows, in Europe it was nothing to see hills of cows, black and white cows or sheep. So if you see a hill with black and white cows, you're like, oh, woo, all those cows, wow. First time you're excited. The second time you're like, oh, 100 more black and white cows, ooh. And the next hill, you say, goodness, okay. Maybe by the fourth hill, you don't even say anything because now you're not seeing so many thousands of black and white cows. But if you saw one purple cow amongst thousands of black and white cows, it's going to stand out. It's going to be unique. Everybody's going to get out the car, jump out, go run up to the cow and just see if it's real, right? Because it's standing out. So that's what a Purple Cow episode is. This is one that's going to stand out amongst the rest because we have today a guru homeschooling mama who has gone before us. She has graduated her kids. She is like, we just gonna glean from her and grab information and insights because a wise person seeks counsel. Especially those who have done that, been there, done that, learned some things, and got a lot to share. So you girlfriends and guy friends, get some pencil, get a paper, get ready to take some notes. And this guest today she's going to be fire, okay? Just be ready. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about our guest. Anita Gibson is a speaker, life coach, and educational strategist. Since 2002, she has served her community by introducing youth, women, and families to a purpose-filled journey by helping them discover their strengths and how to use them to achieve success. She teaches that each person's strengths are indicators of their future possibilities. Her desire is to show each person how to find their star qualities, and that STAR stands for strengths, talents, abilities, and resources. I love that. I love it. So So Anita Gibson resides in Maryland with her amazing husband, Glen, for over 20 years. 20 years. They homeschooled their 3 adult children. Lauren, who is an internationally traveled foreign service officer. Dannielle, an excellent middle school science and math teacher. And Richard, a computer programmer instructor and professional photographer. So, girlfriends, I have given you a small bio. I'm sure this is just icing on the cake. Just a small bio about Anita Gibson. So, Anita.
Yes.
If there's any more to share, please share it with us and tell us how you actually got started in your homeschooling journey.
Well, when our oldest was 5 years old and it was time to put her on the bus, we kind of looked at each other and we said, do we want to do this or do we want to let somebody else do this? And we decided that we wanted to do it. And if we're going to do it for one, then we had to do it for all 3. And so it took over 20 years to make that happen.
Wow, 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 wow. Woo. So it was just that simple. You just thought, do we want someone else to do it or do we want to do it? Did you have any educational background or faith? I mean, what made you think that and 20 years ago, I guess that wasn't too far before when I started, 18 years ago, but it was very foreign to me. Only I had saw my aunt do it, but was it very popular and even 20 years ago to be homeschooling?
When we started, they were still putting people in jail for homeschooling.
Okay,
It wasn't even legal in some states. And then
right.
to be African American in homeschooling took it to a whole nother level. So all of our relatives thought we were crazy, but we had a core of friends in our church who were considering this option. So it wasn't like we were by ourselves. But we wanted to make sure that we could transmit our values to our kids. We wanted to make sure that they grew up knowing and understanding what we believed. And we wanted to make sure that we were able to develop a relationship with them. And you can't do that unless you have time. And so
Right.
for us, our homeschooling journey actually became a way for us to spend time with our kids and to really learn to enjoy them at a whole nother level.
Wow. Yes, right. That's huge. Finding time, being with your kids 24/7. So tell us, I mean, oh, so many questions. All right. So tell us girlfriends and guy friends, being with your kids now 24/7, 20 years, was it any of this like pulling, what was that like? Was it worth it?
OMG. I started this off as a businesswoman. I worked on Capitol Hill. I had no intentions of being home 24/7 with little ones. It was such a major shift for me. I at times wondered if I was going to make it through. But I found what I thought in the beginning was a sacrifice. And I'm giving up my career. I'm at home with these kids all day. In the end, as we look back, we realized it was a privilege that God had given us an assignment, and that being willing and obedient to that assignment, I became a better person. I found out a lot more about Anita than I wanted to know.
Wow.
And being able to have to become that example 24/7 with your kids, it puts you in a different place. It challenges you in a way that you cannot imagine. But when your heart is to do right and to honor God, I mean, having kids around you all the time will purify so much in your soul. It'll make you a better person.
Oh, I like how you said that purified stuff in your soul. That's good. You're gonna have to talk about that a little bit in just a moment. But so tell us, take us back to that 20 years ago when you were, started, and that was anomaly. It was very new, weird, taboo,
Weird.
perhaps even, especially if you're Black, because our understanding and ingrainment is that education is key. I mean, that's huge. It's paramount in our culture, and someone else does it. Someone else does it.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, how did you make it through during that starting time with that type of mentality and pressure and upon you?
Good question. I felt like I was called to it. It almost grabbed me instead of me really grabbing it. It was something for some reason in my head, I had to do it. I had to try. I had to because my kids needed it. It was the decision that our family made. I don't believe everybody's going to homeschool, but for our family, that was it was a decision that we made, and it was a decision we started, and so we needed to finish it. You asked me earlier about education. I have a couple of years in college. I have no degrees at all, and there was a point in my life when I was thinking about going back to school, getting my degrees, and I still may do that now that the kids are grown, but I love the idea that I could say I am only have 2 years of college and was able to do this, because then it brought it down to the level of everybody. If you have a high school diploma, if you have a heart for your children, if you're willing to grow, if you are willing to learn, you can do this too.
Right, that's right. I like that. That's very true. I like also that you're still dreaming. You're done. Your kids are grown. When you can just be like, okay, I'm going to sit back and just relax and chill. You're still dreaming about going back to school yourself. That's
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah.
I'm 57. And so in our area, when you turn 60, you can go to college for free.
Nuh-uh.
So I'm definitely gonna go back. But you're right. There was a season when I was like, it's time for me to chill. I have worked hard, and now is my chill time. And then, God was like, well, who told you that? 50s is not necessarily chill. 60s, 70s, or 80s. If there's something that you've been called to, you just do it until you're done. And I tried my best when I finished homeschooling to do something else. I was like, oh, now I can go back to my business thing. And I do have a business, so I'm doing some of that. But God would not let me go. He was like, do you think I allowed you to be involved for 20 years with your kids, and now you're just going to, and other people's kids, and now we're just going to drop that? No, we need that resource in the community. I need you to keep going.
Wow, 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 wow. Okay, so that's beautiful. So tell us real quick, what are you doing? You're giving back because you can be done. What did God call you to do? What are you doing?
So I'm a life coach, author, and speaker, and I'm actually an author of a book called Starfinder that's just coming out. And it's about discovering strategies to help struggling students win. But I kind of have just a business where I encourage moms. I have Facebook, I'm on social media, and I have a meetup group called The Fantastic Failures of an Average Mom. And it's a place where I encourage moms to let them know they're not doing as bad as they think they are. And then I show them how to turn failure into fantastic.
Woo! I didn't know that. I didn't even know that. Wow. Okay, so I'm gonna put that I'm gonna make sure I put that in the show notes. Fantastic Failures of an Average Mom Facebook group.
Yes, it's a meetup actually. It's a
Okay.
physical meetup group here in
Oh,
our
okay.
area.
It's a meetup group. Okay, is it a
Yeah.
Facebook page as well, or no?
No, I just on my Facebook page I post those that subject.
That's gotcha. Okay, so take us back to now, all of us who are still in the thick of homeschooling. So although I've graduated 3, I have 5 more to go, and all these moms, all these girlfriends and guy friends up here today, most of us are in the thick of the homeschooling. So tell us how to embrace this purifying of our souls by our homeschooling children. What's the insight, the encouragement, the whatever you can just pour into our hearts right now, Anita?
So everything you are experiencing at this moment has a purpose. Nothing is wasted. We have to, as parents, get to the place where we stop asking, why me? Why this? Why now? Because those are invalid questions that make us an invalid. Rather, we have to begin to say, okay, God, what are you saying? And what do you want me to do? So whatever that thing that's popping up right now that you wish would go away, it has been placed into your life because God is trying to give you something. He might be trying to give you patience. He might be trying to give you peace. He might be trying to teach you how to see the beauty of that child that irritates you to the nth degree. In fact, what I have learned is that the things that irritate you the most about your children are sometimes the very places of little glimpses of what God is going to have them become. So if you have a child who talks all the time and you just wish, sometimes you just want to say, shut up, that is probably going to be a child who speaks when they grow up. And what you have to do is find places for that gift to manifest itself where it's okay to talk. And you have to begin to look at that child differently. Like, it's not an irritation. Like, thank God she wants to talk to me, because one day if I'm not listening, she's going to be talking to someone else. And so those are the things that I would say. Don't run. Don't run from the stuff that hurts, irritates you the most, that you wish would change, because there's purpose in it. And you're going to miss out on the purpose if you are not willing to ask God, okay, what are you saying? And what do you want me to do? Because this is not an accident.
I don't know if you can see, but you just brought tears to my eyes. That just so ministered to my heart. So, girlfriends, I don't know if Miss Anita ministered to your heart just there. That just stirred my heart in such a way, because God is trying to give you something that you need.
Yes.
And oftentimes it is through our kids, and we try and run away from it. We talked about this yesterday on the interview, we threaten public school.
Right.
We just, fall apart because of whatever that is within them that needs to be developed. What you're saying is to be purposeful in their unique selves. Find out what that uniqueness is and make it purposeful for their good and for their future, most likely.
Yes, absolutely. We had a daughter. This book actually, the person who is kind of the catalyst for it is our middle daughter, who was not reading well at all, and she was in 6th grade. You want to talk about pressure, people looking at you, you're homeschooling and your daughter can't read, what's wrong with you guys over there? But she did not have anything wrong, no learning disabilities. She just learned differently. And her sister before her, everything she touched, she could do it. I don't even remember teaching her how to read. So this child coming behind her was lost. She felt like she wasn't important, that nobody cared, that, oh, she was never going to be anything. So we actually had to begin to find her star qualities. And we decided in the house she was going to be the only one who could have animals, because she loved animals. And she became the animal doctor in the neighborhood. And when a bird would fall out of a tree or someone would find a turtle, they would bring it to the house and she would minister to it, or we might help them bring it back to the nature center. And she began to find her place, but we had to create and help her with that. And as we began to help her to find her strengths and find out who she was, then her academics actually began to pull up, because now she had a reason for wanting to read. She wanted to find out about how to take care of this animal, and what do I do about that, and how do I help over here. And so she is now a fantastic science and math teacher, because she understands what it's like to not get it. And so she is so creative in the way that she teaches. She teaches high schoolers chemistry and biology, and they get it because she struggled. So way back then, that purpose was there. But if we had not taken the time to give her a chance to learn what her star qualities were, I believe she would not be the woman that she is today.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. You all, let me just let you know who we have today. Today is our Purple Cow episode with Miss Anita. Oh my goodness, it is good. You all take note. This is Miss Anita Gibson with us today out of Maryland. Homeschool mom of 20 years, graduated 3 children out of homeschool. So she is done. This is why this is a purple cow. She stands out amongst all the black and white cows. She is standing out, shining bright. So if you would just take a moment, hit the share button and get this out to everybody so that they can hear this. This is so encouraging, and this is what we need. Purple Cow episode to encourage our hearts even in a deeper place, because she's been there and done that. So Miss Anita, tell us a little bit more about the Star Finder. You spoke on it a little bit just now. Tell us, you said your middle daughter was the one that was the catalyst of your book. What else can you share from that to encourage us to purchase your book, Star Finder? You said it's coming out. It's not out yet, right?
Yes, it's already out. You can actually get it on Amazon. But I guess the other thing, what I would say is in the book are strategies for how to help students that are struggling. But what we don't realize is some of their struggle has to do with us. And that's kind of hard sometimes to admit. But for me, having this first daughter who I don't remember teaching her how to read, who everything she touched just turned to gold. And then this next daughter coming, was confusing for me. I was like, oh, okay, I thought all kids did like the first daughter. And so I had some prejudices of my own that I had to begin to deal with. My second daughter taught me the beauty of individuality. She taught me the beauty of slow. Because in our society, everybody thinks slow is bad. But if you have cancer and it's on your x-ray somewhere, and you have a doctor who's a rabbit and he moves real quick and he can go in and he looks right through it and he looks over that x-ray and he doesn't, oh, you're good to go, Miss Gibson. But then you have this other doctor, he might make you wait 2 weeks, but because he's detail oriented, he's going quadrant by quadrant, looking at that x-ray, and he comes back and he says, we found it. I had to help her to understand God has created you for a job that needs to be detail oriented. He has created you to be slow so that you don't miss the detail of a thing. It's not a problem. It's a blessing, and it's giving you just giving us some insight into what he has for you in your future. But mommy had to get it first so I could help her to understand the beauty of slow. Because I'm a rabbit and I run and I do things all quick and I think that's great. And I think people who are slow have an issue, but I was wrong. And God used her to help me get it right.
That is good. So, Anita, help us, give us the words that we need to know and to hear to help us to recognize that oftentimes the issue with our kids, you want to say, it really begins with us. It's us. Please tell us, how do we identify that? Help us on that.
So what I had to learn to do, because as a young mom, I was an angry mom. I needed, gonna blow that out the water, right? So I had to begin to take a look at myself with some of the conflicts that were going on. And before I jumped down on whatever the issue was, I had to pull back and ask myself that I'm exhibiting towards my child something I've learned. Is it the appropriate way to respond to them so that they can grow up to become the best that they can be? Is the way I'm disciplining them edifying them? Is it building them up? Because even though I have to correct them, am I doing it in a way that blesses them and does not, without meaning to, tear them down? No parent intends to harm or tear down their child, we don't realize sometimes maybe it's the way we were brought up, it's the way we think we should do it. We have to analyze everything. We have to see if what we're doing is working, and we have to ask ourselves, if someone said that like that to me, would I be more likely to listen, or would I be shutting them down? Because say for example, you have a teenager and you're correcting them. If you come at them like now with anger and you know you should have done better, you have already lost. Because in their mind, their focus is on our anger.
We're going to just go ahead and dig in. You were telling us, and my last question to you was, how do we see ourselves being the problem? How can we bring those spectacles, the spotlight back onto ourselves? And so you were laying down some good truths. Again, I'm taking tons of messages, notes here. So if you can, just kind of in a short synopsis, finish off what you were saying there, Anita, in that regards. How can we see us actually being the problem of why our students may be struggling?
So we are not necessarily the problem, but we are definitely the solution, or at least a part of it. And
Okay.
so everybody, there's all different parts to this thing. And so what I was trying to relay is that the parent part of it, if that part can become more aware how we're communicating, that the first thing in order for a student to learn is they must feel safe. So when we come in the door and, the first question is, where's your homework? And why are those shoes on the floor? And discipline in a way that encourages, in a way that edifies. And so I think as parents, sometimes if we take the time to take a peek at the way that we are communicating, that we will, sometimes we need to talk and communicate with a lot less words. Sometimes we need to be able to write things out, and so that they can get it, because we have so many words sometimes that after the second thing we said, they don't remember anything else. We think they're not being obedient, they're not listening, but they couldn't process all of that. And so as you begin to be too much, I've had to say that to so many moms, too many words, your boys are drowning. They're drowning in your words. And so, but you don't realize that. And that's why it helps sometimes to have someone from the outside who can look in and say, you might want to try to do it like this. And so as we begin to become more conscious of who we are and how we interact, we can usually get some better solutions, better outcomes for our children.
Good deal. Good deal. Tell us this, that when you were in your schooling years, did you really focus on the style and approach of, homeschooling? We have unschooling, we have traditional, we have classical, we have literature based, we have Charlotte Mason, we have all of these types of schooling. Was that a focus for you, during those years of homeschooling?
Absolutely. In order for you to be effective at homeschooling, you have to know what your philosophy is. You have to know what your philosophy of education is. What do you believe about education? What do you believe will work? What matches up with your personality, your temperament, and your child's? I was a butterfly, so I'm going to be eclectic. We were going to do lots of field trips. We'd like to be outside and do school. We had days when we'd wake up and it was like, put the books down. We're going to go do, something over here. And so, if someone had made me sit down, with books every day from 9 to 2, it would have drove me crazy. But because God gave those kids to me, he knew that my style would work for them. And I did have to modify sometimes, because when I first started, I was such a butterfly that I can remember weeks when maybe we didn't do school at all. And so I had to get some accountability, and I joined an accountability group that would check on me every couple months to make sure I was doing what I was supposed to do, because that's what this butterfly needed.
I got you. I call that butterfly a color. I don't know if you heard of the color personalities. It's a blue personality. Blue
Ah,
personalities are fun going, like to have fun, who needs to schedule, what time, let's go outside and walk in the grass. They love to
mm,
travel and just enjoy life. That's that's a blue personality. Accountability, what? Keep records, what? I mean, some of that may be extreme, but that's generally the blue personality. And so,
yep.
yeah, I like that. Yeah, butterflies. But I need blue personality in my life. I know a lot of us because I'm a red personality. So my kids get the strip. And so we sometimes will miss out on the
Ah,
fun because I'm thinking, no, we
yes.
got things to do. We got to check off the list. Hey, we're going someplace. So I need a lot of blue personality in my life to bring fun to my homeschooling. So Anita, we're at this point of our show where we have some specific questions to pick your brain. And so these can be quick answers, just insights and things that you want to share, okay? So what is
Okay.
your favorite quote that helped you through your homeschooling?
Don't expect what you don't inspect.
That's good. That's good. Do you plan, when you started off, did you plan to homeschool all the way through homeschooling, high school? Was that your initial plan?
No, ma'am. It was 1 year at a time. I actually had no intention of homeschooling high school, but each year, at the end of the year, we look and decide whether we were going to continue or not.
Wow, okay. What specific curriculum, if you can remember that long ago, was there any specific curriculum that you stuck to, through all of that homeschool journey, or special books that you stuck with, or online
Mhm.
things, anything you can say, hey, this was your bread and butter of homeschooling?
So I am still an administrator for a homeschool, and I also have a learning center where we do tutoring and study sessions for homeschool. So I'm still in that world. Sax and math was something that was great for us because it was the repetition that this blue butterfly needed. And then we're into Bright Ideas right now. It's a thinking curriculum. We use it for middle school for their, I believe it's the history, and I believe we use it for science as well. Um, for someone who is not really into like English and is struggling, Easy Grammar was great for basics, making sure they had the basics of the English language and the grammatical aspects of it. And we use something called Knot Grass for high school. They have Bible, history, and literature all combined. Um, just off the top of my head, those are some of the things that
Mhm.
we use.
Okay. And during your homeschooling years, was there anything that was unique and special that the Gibson family did that was like something that you created that you're proud of? This is what is in the Gibson homeschool. Did you have anything that was specific like that?
We had traditions, like places we would go at certain times of the year.
Yeah.
Um, So every year when you told me that you guys live on a farm, you just don't know. I have never been in the out in the country. My dad was in the service, so we traveled all over the world, but I always have felt like I was a farm girl on the inside. And so we always loved things like Little House on the Prairie and that kind of thing. So we every year at Thanksgiving go to Lancaster to Amish country
Okay.
and we lived on with the Mennonites and bed and breakfast, and just love just something about being in that open space where you can see, for miles. It just does something to your soul. It's so restoring. So the fact that you can look out your back door into a pasture, oh, I would love that so much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a blessing. So tell us, what was the best piece of advice you received when you were homeschooling that you can pass on to us?
I remember when I first started, and I was so afraid I was going to mess up, and I didn't know what to do. A mom pulled me to the side, and she said, "Anita," I said, "Well, what works? What curriculum? How do you do it?" She says, "Anything works if you work."
Mm, I think I like that. Anything works if you works. That's it. Woo, bam, that's a bomb right there. Boom. That's everything. That's
Okay.
excellent. That's everything. Wow. Okay. So what is your did you have a favorite book that you read? I know all you said that you just was like, okay, we're going to homeschool, but was there something that you use as your homeschool manual, something that you referred to back, over and over again that helped you along the journey?
So Kathy Duffy, she's a reviewer. She saved my life because at the end of every school year, sometimes in the middle of it, we're like, that didn't work. What else do we need? And now there are so many resources, and it was so overwhelming to be able to go to her resources. I think it's like 101, different products that she recommends. And usually one of her things that she recommended would be just what we needed to help us out.
Yes, okay. Kathy Duffy, she online, right? I don't remember what her website is, but you can Google Kathy Duffy.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, very.
absolutely.
All right, so here we go. Here's the last question, Anita. It's
Okay.
the $1 million question. Now, are you ready?
Okay.
Although now
Right.
you, although now you have graduated and you're finished homeschooling your children, but you're still giving into other homeschooled children and families. But if you could start all over again, not that you would want to, but if you were to start all over again to day one, but you have your current knowledge, wisdom, skills, convictions, what would be the thing you would be sure to implement or things you would be sure not to do in your first day back on this homeschooling journey?
Hmm. I think that I wish I would have had the chance to have learned about Anita more. I wish
Mm,
I had known what my challenges were, what my preconceived ideas were. I wish I had been more mature. I wish I had been more patience. But all those things that I wish I would have been, the homeschooling actually gave them to me. And so I think we cannot get out of the process, and that everything that we wished we weren't is a part of what makes us and our children who they are. And so you don't want to take any of it out. It's the cake,
mm,
that tastes nasty with the different ingredients if you eat them separately, but when you put it all together, you have something that tastes real good.
that is good, good, good. Wow, thank you. So Anita, woo, for you who are just joining us or just coming in at this point, today has been our episode 16 Purple Cow episode. Why? Because it stands out amongst the sea of all the black and white cows. Something just unique and different about her. So this today has been a homeschool mom who's graduated all her children. They're done. They're in their 30s and 20s, late 20s. She's done. She's like, yay, done. She's still giving back into the homeschooling community, and she's placing those seeds even still there. So, Anita, we are so thankful to you. Any last words of advice? And please tell us again how to get a hold of your book, Star Finder. And then what else are you getting your hands into that you want this homeschooling community to know about? And then number three, please let them know how they can get in contact with you if they want to continue this conversation or get connected with you.
Awesome. So first of all, thank you so much for just inviting me to come. I'm honored that you would consider me for this privilege. And it's just been a joy just talking with you. I'm so glad that God, pulled me in and made me do this at first when I didn't want to, because it is such a joy to be able to share my journey in the hopes that maybe others won't have to struggle like I did. Um, on all social media, if you guys are trying to reach me, you can reach me at Anita Gibson, EDU. And that's on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. I am doing a book launch on next Saturday, the 17th, which I'm extremely excited about. If you're interested in my book, Starfinder, you can go to Amazon and put in my name and then Starfinder, and it'll pop up. Or if you would like it autographed, if you go to BIT, and that's B as in boy, ITLY / be a Starfinder, I would love to autograph your book for you. So thank you guys, and thank you, Angela, so much.
Very good. And tell us, is there anything else we can get connected with you? What are you doing that you want to publicize and get out to allow us you as part of our village?
Absolutely. So what you can do if you want to connect with me on Facebook, I do have a moms group that's called Moms. Let's see, which one do I want to tell you about? Moms Motivation Lab on Facebook is a private group that if you would like to come in and ask questions, I would love to answer them.
To replay, rewind, and go over this again. All the nuggets, wisdom, insights, contact information I will have in the show notes so you can glean from them. But thank you, girlfriends, for being a part today. And just remember that you are the average sum of the 5 people you hang with. And you have been hanging with Anita Gibson today out of Maryland, our Purple Cow edition. Finished homeschooling mom, children graduated, going on to college and doing great things in life. So just remember that. Stay connected to those homeschoolers who will bring a positive impact into your homeschooling journey, into your journey, and into your life. And you become that positive impact that someone else might be looking for too as well, okay? So again, thank you, Anita. Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling is grateful to you and appreciate you for giving of your time today and just pouring out of your resource and wealth of knowledge. We're so grateful for your impact to homeschoolers worldwide. All the best to you. God bless you. And I send you my love and gratitude. So thank you. For all of you who were with us today and hung in there, you all have a great day. And until next time, we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.